Okay. All right, little fella. All your pieces are there. Let's make you a tunic. So his tunic, EH Shepard's tunic, is green with black stripes. So I'm going to take my green. Making clothes for things is among my favorite things to do. Super fun. Okay. This is probably too much. Let's go about to there. Don't want it to be clumpy. So, Piglet. Piglet, Piglet. And he does have little legs on his tunic. So it's going to go down into his legs. Neck down to legs. Not too much. Not too little. Like a little bit less. Again. Even. Okay. All right, so it's really very simple. I'm going to create a little hole here for that arm. Put the arm through the hole. And here, those legs are going to come down. All right, so let's begin here, coming around this arm as well. Oops. And see, I'm coming around the arm, so it's a nice little armhole. Make sure it's got a bit of a neckline. It really does come right up in the illustration, so all right with that. And take a bit off. That. Don't want the pink to show through, but I also don't want it to be too heavy, right? They call him Little Piglet. They call him Little Piglet, quite rightly. I'm just wild about Piglet. Piglet's wild about me. I'm just wild about my Piglet. He's just wild about me. Going around the arm. Nice little finished armholes. So you can see this is not right. I've gone too far on this side. So let's pull some over. I want these to be the same. Maybe I need to bring this arm down a little bit more. That could help. And drag some of this green over. Got the right shape. So now these are little shorts. So I'm going to have it come in at the crotch. So he ends up with a little bit of leg there. Right? Nice. Like the kind of little shorts that a very small person of the era would wear. So we have the general shape of the clothing, and now we're going to spend some time going around and smoothing it out so that it's not like he's wearing a lumpy sack. He's wearing a cute little green onesie. That is pretty darn cute. Now for stripes. And it's up to you. You don't absolutely have to give it stripes, but if we're going to be true to Mr. Shepard's drawing, this tunic has stripes. So again, with the black and the twisting, twist, 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 twist. Okay. Oopsie. I really mean to do that. There we go. Okay. So I will start at the back with the neck. And I'm going to spiral them around. I find that's a little simpler than starting and finishing each line. And the effect is just fine. You see how I'm just bringing it along in a line and gently tapping it in. Pulling it a bit so it's kind of taut. Don't you run away. It's trying to run away. I need that. Okay, so pull it taut and then lock it in. And then you want your stripes to be pretty much equidistant. So decide at the first one how far you want them to be apart. Down here, I'm thinking about this is good. So because I've made them that far apart, I am going to need, I think, one more before the arm, because then I'm going to come off the bottom of the arm. So let's go like this. I'm going to bring this down as far as I can. So that I don't then have a giant hole at the arm. Down just a little bit. Then I'm going to come around the arm and this way. And just twist again. So then check as you go. I think this one needs to come up a little bit. I gotta come down a little bit. Up a little bit. Okay, and that's really the only tricky part, is around the arm. And another thing to be careful of is that you're not felting it in too vigorously, because you don't want to create a bunch of indents. Right? You don't want the stripes to be choking the fabric. You want them to just sit on the fabric. And if you find that something's gone in too far, you can just reach in and poke it out a bit, but again, very gently. Let's pull that out a bit. Okay. Let's get some more. Something happened here. It's all right. Solve that pretty simply. Okay, so just look at them, even them up if necessary. Secure them a bit more. Very tall piglet. Okay. So now you can spend some time going over and just finessing. The more time you spend at this point, the more poking that you do, the more finished your final product will be. little piglet. Adorable little piglet. Let's give him a big red balloon. Now for Piglet's big red balloon. I tried a couple of ways with this. I used styrofoam. A lot of the less expensive kits have styrofoam in the center for something like this, and I thought maybe it would be light enough, but I really don't love felting onto styrofoam, so I didn't stay with that. And I tried attaching a wire so that he could hold it, like hold it in his hand. And I could try that again with a lighter wire, but the wire that I used with the weight of the balloon knocked him over, so I didn't love that. So this is what I settled on. Okay, so I think then what I've settled on is using some, real core wool in the center. And often when we're doing our felting projects, we want them to be very firm. I mean, his head is very firm and his arms are very firm, but the ball doesn't need to be very firm. And I'm more concerned actually that the ball not be so heavy that it knocks him over. So, and we're making it with wool, so there's some weight to it, but not too much. Okay, so first I'm just going to make a loose ball. And you can see that this core will needs a clean. It's got some debris in it, but we're not going to see it, so I don't really care. So a very loose ball. Just rolling that onto itself. I do want it to be a large balloon because that's adorable. And normally when I'm making a ball, it's a lot tighter than this, if I was using it for a head or for something else. But because I want this to be light, going light. This core wool, I can really feel the lanolin. It feels so nice on my hands. Love it. I just want this to be a ball, and I'm trying to not compress it too much so that it's light. Again, whenever you're making a shape, I firmly believe your brain knows what it's doing, so you don't need to overthink it. So I'm using my hands to roll it, and then just letting my body know how to make a curve, just rolling and stabbing and rolling and stabbing. And when I look at this, right, I see where it needs to be smoothed out to give it a nice curve, a nice ball shape. Now balloon, I don't think the balloon either should be perfectly round. I think that we want it to be round at the top and then come together a little bit at the bottom, where we're going to have the little tie to the balloon, right? So it's not very heavy, which is what I want. So then we're going to take this red which is again roving and it's not pulling apart. Let's go further apart. If it won't pull your hands further apart. And it should pull. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so I want the red to cover it, but again, I don't want it to be heavy. I'm just gonna pull this a bit. It's a nice red. I do like this red. balloon. Maybe I have too much. Do I have too much? Too thick. See where there's patches? I'll just pull the wool over very gently. So the thing about having the inside not firm means that I have to be cautious. I don't lose the shape. By felting too firmly. I feel like I have too much here. I'll take some away. Then I might add some back, but don't want it to be chunky. Because it's a balloon, it's not chunky. This is becoming a pleasant balloon to me. And I think that I like these striations of red in the red. I think that it gives it really kind of a fun cotton candy kind of feel to it. So I'm doing this very loosely. And that's doing a good job of smoothing it all around so that I don't have holes. It's just very nice and smooth. So the top of my balloon, smooth, okay, that looks like the top of a balloon. So at the bottom, I'm going to create a little balloon nubbin. And I think that that is a pretty good balloon shape. Right, Piglet holding his big red balloon. So we need to go through the hand into the balloon, and since the balloon is less, I want to miss his face, so let's bring those arms down a bit. Since the balloon is much less firm than the hand, I'm going to go from balloon into hand. Just on a diagonal, not trying to bend the needle. Also not wanting to flatten the balloon. Okay, so just make sure that that's fully attached. And then you can go around, as I've said, do some finessing, spend some time getting all those little wisps in, and then you can do a little trimmy shave at the end. But there he is, the most adorable little piglet. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here at Feltalala. Visit our YouTube channel. You're already there if you're watching this video for other videos, and please do order those kits. I hope you have the best time with it. You make beautiful things. Thank you.